Thank you all very much. We're both delighted and flattered and surprised to get this award. Much of what we do carries us around the world. You know, this great gift we've had to have this career. And while we know we're businessmen, it's not how we describe ourselves. It's certainly not what we think about every day. And we're honored to be in such great company tonight. We'd be very remiss if we didn't thank our friend and colleague Sean McCann, who was otherwise engaged and couldn't make it with us tonight, but he's been in my case, he's been my partner in music for 21 years, and with Alan and myself for 17. And the fact
I'm the new guy.
Yeah. The fact we managed to remain friends and all this is a testament to our love of the music and our love of the band. And we would be even more remiss if we didn't thank our friend and colleague Louis Thomas, who you saw there tonight. He's a man notoriously camera shy, and but he is also the most successful music business entrepreneur who's ever come out of Atlantic Canada, forget Newfoundland. And he was born on Fleming Street and lived in St. John's most of his life. And he's a man who, by right, should be sharing this honor with us tonight. We'd also like to thank the cast and crew. There's been, over 40 people who work with the band in some capacity in the last 20 years, and each and every one of them has brought something to the show. And they might not have been on stage standing there with a guitar, but we needed them and they needed us, and we were grateful for their help and their participation. Now, there's many lessons we learned in the music business, many more that we, I suspect, have yet to learn. Unfortunately, all three of us graduated from Memorial University with degrees in English. Well, we learned lots of things at Memorial University. We learned lots of things in our English courses. 4-column accounting and HSD collection were not amongst our virtues. The music business itself is very complicated. It's filled with villains and illusions and crooks of all nature. And I fear that it's changed so much in the years since we've begun it that any advice we could give on the music business would be hopeless. And furthermore, this room is filled with so many successful business entrepreneurs of all stripes that our particular corner of it would be utterly useless in providing any positive examples. However, and there is a however, there's always a however. If there's one piece of valuable advice that we could offer, and I would direct it to the younger people here tonight, the entrepreneurs who are just beginning their steps upon the road. When we started this band, we had very one strong and unshakable conviction. It's a conviction that has never ceased to sustain us in the years since. It was our belief that living in Newfoundland and being from this strange and beautiful and wonderful place was not a problem or a challenge that we had to overcome. It was our advantage. Right. Our Newfoundland, our accents, our culture, the world we grew up in, gave us something invaluable in the world of traditional and roots music. It gave us authenticity. In a world that grows ever more dull and bland and homogeneous, we knew we had something different. We had something special. We had an enormous well of music, a sea of culture, a sea of inspiration, a foundation that we used to create our own music, and a foundation that we've used to build our entire career. If anything, Newfoundland made us daring, and as our friend Louis said, it made us ambitious, resourceful and stubborn, but also taught us how valuable indeed, how very, very valuable, the world can find something as simple as a smile and an invitation to join us in a song. So we tell you, the young people who are beginning this journey, treasure what you have here. Learn from what you have here. And take something from what you've had here. The truth is, there is nowhere like it. And if you understand that, you'll prosper in whatever you do.
That was awesome. I really wish I'd prepared something more poignant. The truth is, I'm struck by a couple of things here this evening. One of which is looking at the collage of pictures. I wonder if in years to come I'm going to regret this beard as much as Fred regrets his mustache. Like Bob, I'm humbled to be here because we're in the company of people who've worked hard their whole life and did so many good things for Newfoundland and Labrador, and to see some of the people who've been inducted into the Hall of Fame and some of the great, really you're seeing the A class of Newfoundland and Labrador from our province and from our country and from our heritage, and it's an honor to be amongst them. It reminds me a little bit of when we sort of got asked to be the alumni of the year from Memorial University, and I thought it was kind of like a wrong number or something. Nonetheless, I'm grateful for it. It is an interesting thing to be in the music business for this long, because you do have kind of a love-hate relationship. And what you said about it kind of reminded me. You remember that Hunter S. Thompson quote? Do you remember that? Yeah, he's the dude. Johnny Depp played him in a movie, and he, you kind of loved it. You hate the music business, but you can't help it. You love the music business. And he said, the music business is a shallow money trench. It's a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free, and good men die like dogs. And there's also a negative side. But I'd just like to add to Bob's thanks. I'm very grateful to our families who've been so kind to us over the last couple of decades. It started with our moms and dads and became our girlfriends, and who in some cases became our wives, and in some cases didn't, I suppose. I didn't mean for that to be awkward for you. Wow. Pull the chute. But I'm serious. Being our families is I'd like to think it's not too big of a chore, but at times it's difficult because for the very fact that we're gone so much, and it's much easier to go as much as we have to when you know we have a strong base at home. So I'm very grateful to our wives and to our moms and dads and our brothers and sisters and our kids and everybody who lets us do what we do. And give them a round of applause, even though I don't think any of them... Mostly, I think myself and Bob and Sean and Louie and all of us would really like to thank, nearly 20 years of fans who've looked after Great Big Sea on the road. And because, how much would it suck if they weren't there? I mean, honestly. Honestly, playing music for a living is something you can choose to do. And, almost no one can take that away from you anytime. But a career as an entertainer is really given to you because people want to come see you. And as long as you remember that, you'll be all right. And so if you don't mind, I'd like to give the fans a round of applause for what they've done. Like Bob said, man, I feel compelled to give some kind of advice. Can you imagine taking advice from me? but it's like, hey Bob, let's attack the North American pop charts, and we'll do it with sea shanties and Newfoundland accordion.
It didn't look very good on paper.
No. But if I could say one thing, and one thing I'm grateful, to Bob and Sean especially about, is that we managed to have a collective that does one thing that I think everybody should do, no matter what you do for a living, and that's get up in the morning and do whatever is necessary. Get up and do what's required of you. Do what you need to do. Don't look at your job description. Don't look at your title. Don't be bothered with what you did yesterday or what you might have to do tomorrow. Do what you need to do today. In our case,